What is going on, guys? Welcome to your very first lesson in physics. Now, for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Bucky Roberts, and evidently I'm going to be teaching you guys some physics today. So, before I begin, I want to mention a few things. The first thing is, at any time during this tutorial series, if you guys have any questions about topics that you want me to cover, or just questions about physics in general, or maybe you even want me to go over a specific problem, then please don't ask me in the comment section below because the videos are too scattered around and it's difficult to look through all the comments. So if you guys have any questions, then please ask me on my forum. The link is below every video, so go ahead and click that if you have any questions. So now that I gave you guys my nice little introduction, let's go ahead and jump right into physics. So basically, what the heck is physics? Well, the formal definition is the branch of science that deals with matter, energy, motion, and force. Now, for this tutorial, I'm going to be focusing mainly on motion, basically things moving around. Now, whenever we talk about motion, we need to cover one quick definition first, and that's the definition of speed. What is speed? Well, for those of you who are addicted to drugs out there, you know that speed is indeed a drug, but that's not the kind of speed we're talking about. We're talking about the speed that's defined as distance over time. And yes, you guys are just going to have to deal with my handwriting. So, speed is basically the distance traveled over the time traveled. Basically, the rate at which an object moves, or as simple as I can put it, how fast is something going? That's what we want to try to figure out. That's the very first core concept that I'm going to be teaching you guys in physics. So whenever we need to solve problems dealing with speed, we like to use variables. Now, we use the variable s for speed, we use d for distance, and can you guys guess what we use for time? Yep, t for time. So with these three variables, we like to plug these into different equations whenever we're trying to calculate the average speed. So we're saying, okay, so the average speed is basically the distance traveled over the time traveled. Simple enough. So let's go ahead and take a look at an example. So say we have a problem that, let's say we want to find the average speed of, I don't know, a car or something. So we say that, let me just think of something here. Say that we drove 48 miles and it took us 4 hours to drive. Well, what information do we have already? The 48 miles is, of course, the distance, so we'll set that equal to d, and the 4 hours is the time. Now, if you remember, the formula for average speed, I'll just write average speed equals the distance over time. So we're trying to solve for speed, and we already got 48, which is the distance, over 4 hours. And I guess I might as well plug in my miles and hours. So the average speed of this car, I think I said car, didn't I, would be 48 divided by 4, which is indeed, can you guys guess, 12 miles per hour. So that is how you calculate average speed. Basically take whatever distance you have and throw it over whatever time frame you have. And remember, whatever terminology you're using in distance, miles, put that per time. Now, typically in physics, we don't deal with miles or hours. We typically deal with meters and seconds. But for this example, it's just a real quick example. And another thing that I want to mention before I let you guys go in this video is, I know I said speed is what we're trying to figure out, but in physics, we more commonly use a letter v. Now, v stands for velocity, and to be completely honest, velocity and speed are similar, but they are a little bit different, and I'll talk about that later whenever I talk about scalar and vector quantities. But just remember this. For the upcoming tutorials, I'm going to use the letter V, which stands for velocity, instead of S, which stands for speed. Right now, just think of them as the exact same thing, although I'll cover their differences later on. So anyways, for this tutorial, that's all you guys get. Hopefully you guys understand how to calculate average speed now. Again, average speed equals distance over time. So Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.